Before you watch this video, I want you to think about something very honestly. If your life continues exactly like it is right now, where will you be in 5 years? Because the truth is simple, and it may be uncomfortable. Most people don't fail because they are not smart. They don't fail because they don't have opportunities. They fail because they waste their time. Every single day, not in big ways, but in small, invisible moments. A few minutes here, a delay there, one distraction after another. And slowly, their entire life disappears. But today, that changes. Because in this video, you are going to learn 7 powerful lessons that can completely transform the way you use your time and ultimately your life. 1. Time is your most valuable asset. Let me tell you something very important. Time is the only thing in your life that you can never get back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can miss opportunities and find new ones. You can even rebuild your life after failure. But time? Once a minute is gone, it is gone forever. Think about your day yesterday. How many hours did you spend doing things that truly matter? And how many hours did you waste without even realizing it? Scrolling, waiting, delaying, doing nothing important. Most people don't lose their life in one big mistake. They lose it slowly, minute by minute. And the dangerous part is, it feels normal. You wake up, check your phone, say, I'll start later, and suddenly the day is over. Now imagine this. If someone offered you $1 million, but in exchange, all you had to give up 1 year of your life, would you accept it? Most people would say no, because deep down, we all know our time is more valuable than money. But here's the truth. Every day we trade our time for things that don't matter. We give our life to distractions. We give our energy to unimportant things. We spend hours and gain nothing. That is the real loss. Successful people understand one simple rule. They protect their time. They don't waste it on everything. They choose carefully where their time goes. So from today, start asking yourself one powerful question. Is this worth my life? Because time is not just minutes and hours. Time is your life. And if you don't control your time, you will slowly lose control of your life. 2. Stop procrastination. Now let's be honest for a moment. How many times have you said, I'll do it later? Later today. Later tonight. Tomorrow. Next week. But that later never comes. This is procrastination, and it is one of the biggest reasons people fail. Not because they are not smart, not because they don't have talent, but because they keep delaying action. Procrastination feels comfortable. It tells you you still have time. You can do it later. You're not ready yet. But this is a lie because every time you delay something important, you are training your mind to avoid effort. You are building a habit of inaction, and slowly, this becomes your lifestyle. Days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, and one day you realize you are in the same place. No progress, no growth, no change. Now listen carefully. You don't need more time. You need more action. The problem is not that you are lazy. The problem is that you are waiting for the perfect moment. But there is no perfect moment. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never feel fully motivated. That's why successful people don't wait. They start even when they don't feel like it. Here is a simple rule you can follow. If something takes less than 5 minutes, do it immediately. If something is important, start with just one small step. Not the whole task. Just the first step. Because starting is the hardest part. Once you begin, your mind becomes active, your energy increases, and suddenly the work feels easier. Action creates momentum, and momentum destroys procrastination. So the next time your mind says, I'll do it later, stop and say, no, I will do it now. Because your future is not built by what you plan to do. It is built by what you do today. 3. Set clear priorities. Let me ask you something honestly. Are you busy or are you productive? Because there is a big difference. Many people feel busy all day, They are always doing something, always moving, always working. But at the end of the day, nothing really changes. No progress, no real results. Why? Because they are not focusing on what truly matters. They are doing many things, but not the right things. This is the problem. Being busy is not success. Being focused is. You see, not everything in your life has the same value. Some tasks move your life forward. Some tasks keep you where you are. And some tasks actually push you backward. But if you don't choose your priorities, everything will feel equally important. And when everything feels important, you become confused. You jump from one task to another. You start many things, but finish nothing. And slowly, your energy disappears. This is why setting priorities is powerful. It gives your life direction. Think of your day like a limited space. You only have a certain amount of time, energy, and focus. If you fill that space with small, unimportant tasks, there will be no room left for the big things. And the big things are what change your life, your goals, your learning, your growth. So, how do you fix this? You start by asking one simple question every day. What is the most important thing I must do today? Not 5 things, not 10 things, just one. Because when you focus on one important task, your mind becomes clear, your energy becomes strong, and your chances of completing it become much higher. Successful people don't try to do everything. They choose what matters most, and they give their full attention to it. They understand something very important. Doing the right thing is more powerful than doing many things. Let's imagine 2 people. The first person completes 10 small, easy tasks. The second person completes one difficult but important task. Who made more progress? The second person, because that one task brings real change. This is the power of priorities. Now, here's another truth. Your priorities show your future. If you spend your time on learning, building skills, and improving yourself, your future will grow. If you spend your time on distractions, comfort, and easy tasks, your future will stay the same. Your daily choices are shaping your life, whether you realize it or not. That is why you must become intentional. Don't let your day control you. You control your day. Decide what matters. Choose your focus. Protect your time. And when you start working on your most important task, do it with full attention. No distractions, no switching, no excuses. Because deep work creates real results. At first, it may feel difficult. Your mind will try to escape. It will look for easy things to do. But stay focused, because this is where growth happens. And over time, something amazing will happen. You will start completing important tasks faster. You will feel more confident. You will see real progress in your life. And that feeling is powerful. Because now you are not just busy, you are moving forward. So remember this. Don't fill your day with tasks. Fill your day with priorities. Because your life is not defined by how much you do. It is defined by what you choose to do. And when you choose wisely, your life will change. 4. Plan your day. Let me ask you something. Have you ever reached the end of the day and thought, where did my time go? You were busy. You were doing things all day. But when the day ended, you felt empty. No real progress. No meaningful achievement. Just tired. This happens to most people. Not because they don't work hard, but because they don't plan. You see, a day without a plan is like a ship without direction. It moved, but it goes nowhere. And the dangerous part is, you don't notice it immediately. Day by day, you keep moving. You keep doing random tasks. You react to whatever comes in front of you. Messages, notifications, small tasks, interruptions. And slowly, your day gets controlled by everything except you. Instead of living your life with intention, you start living by reaction, and that is how time disappears. Now imagine a different kind of day. You wake up with clarity. You already know what needs to be done. You already know what matters most. There is no confusion, no hesitation, just direction. This is the power of planning. Planning is not about being perfect. It is about being intentional. When you plan your day, you take control. You decide what deserves your time. You decide where your energy will go. And most importantly, you protect your focus from distractions. Because without a plan, everything feels important. But with a plan, you choose what is important. Now here's something simple, but powerful. Every morning before you start your day, take just 10 minutes. That's it. 10 minutes to design your day. Not hours, not complicated systems. Just 10 focused minutes. Sit down, take a notebook or your phone, and ask yourself 3 questions. What must I complete today? What is my most important task? And how will I use my time? Start by writing your most important task first. This is the one thing that will move your life forward. Not something easy, not something comfortable, but something meaningful. Then list a few other tasks, not too many, because if your list is too long, your focus becomes weak, and a weak focus leads to unfinished work. Keep your plans simple. Clear tasks, clear direction. Now here's the most important part. Time blocking. Give each task a specific time. Not just, I will do it later, but I will do this at this time. Because when you assign time to a task, it becomes real. It becomes a commitment. Without time, tasks stay as ideas, and ideas don't create results. Let's be honest. Most people don't fail because they don't know what to do. They fail because they don't decide when to do it. And when there is no decision, there is delay, and delay leads to nothing. So give your tasks a place in your day. Now, another important truth. Your plan will not always be perfect. Things will change. Unexpected situations will come. And that's okay. Planning is not about controlling everything. It is about guiding your day. Even if your plan changes, you still have direction. Without a plan, even a small distraction can destroy your whole day. But with a plan, you can return to your path, again and again. Now let's talk about something very real. Distractions. Even with a plan, your mind will try to escape. Your phone will call you. Social media will pull you. Easy tasks will attract you. Because your brain loves comfort. It avoids effort. That is why planning alone is not enough. You must protect your plan. When it is time to work, work. No checking your phone, no switching tasks, no excuses. Just focus. Because deep focus turns simple work into powerful results. And when you follow your plan, something starts to change inside you. You feel more in control. You feel more confident. Because now your day is not controlling you. You are controlling your day. And that feeling is powerful. Now imagine this. If you plan your day every morning for 1 week, you will see improvement. If you do it for 1 month, you will feel different. If you do it for 1 year, your life will completely change. Because success is not built in 1 day. It is built in planned days, 1 day at a time. Now let me tell you something very important. Most people overestimate motivation. They think they need to feel ready. They think they need to feel inspired. But motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel strong, some days you feel weak. But planning removes that problem because when you have a plan, you don't need to think. You don't need to decide. You just follow the path you already created. And that is discipline. Discipline is not about forcing yourself. It is about reducing decisions. And planning does exactly that. It removes confusion. It removes hesitation. It replaces chaos with clarity. So you can move forward, even on days you don't feel like it. Now take a moment and think. What would your life look like if every day had clear direction? If every day had purpose? If every day moved you closer to your goals, that life is not far away. It starts with one simple habit. Planning your day. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, because your future is created by how you use your days, and your days are shaped by how you plan them. So don't leave your life to chance. Don't wake up and hope for a productive day. Design it, control it, own it. Because a planned day is not just a productive day. It is a powerful step toward a better life. 5. Avoid distractions. Let me tell you something that most people don't realize, and it may sound simple at first, but it has the power to completely change your life if you truly understand it. You are not losing your time because you don't have enough of it. You are losing your time because your attention is constantly being stolen. Every single day, small distractions quietly enter your life, and you don't even notice how much they are taking from you. It doesn't feel like a big loss in the moment. It feels harmless. Just a few minutes here, a quick check there, a short scroll, a small break. But these small moments are not small when they are repeated again and again throughout the day. Think about your routine. You start working on something important, something that actually matters for your future, and suddenly your phone lights up. A notification appears. Maybe it's a message, maybe it's social media, maybe it's something completely unimportant. You tell yourself it will only take a few seconds to check it, but those few seconds turn into minutes, and those minutes slowly turn into a break that you never planned. When you finally come back to your work, your focus is gone. Your mind is no longer sharp. You try to continue, but it feels harder than before. What you don't realize is that the real damage is not the time you lost in those few minutes. The real damage is the focus you lost. Focus is one of the most powerful tools you have, and it is also one of the most fragile. Once it is broken, it takes time to rebuild. Every distraction resets your mental energy. It forces your brain to start again. This is why you feel tired even when you haven't done much. It is not because you work too hard. It is because your attention was constantly switching from one thing to another. Your brain was never allowed to stay in one place long enough to create real progress. Now, here is the dangerous part. Distractions are designed to feel good. They are easy, comfortable, and instantly rewarding. When you scroll through your phone, you get quick entertainment. When you check notifications, you feel connected. When you avoid difficult work, you feel temporary relief. But this comfort comes at a very high price. It slowly trains your mind to avoid effort. It teaches you to choose easy over important. And over time, this becomes your habit. You don't even realize it, but your brain starts to crave distraction. It becomes uncomfortable to focus. It becomes difficult to sit with one task. And that is how your potential gets limited. Not because you are not capable, but because your attention is always divided. Look at successful people and you will notice something very clear. They are not just working harder. They are working with deep focus. When they sit down to do something important, they give it their full attention. They are not checking their phone every few minutes. They are not switching between tasks. They create a space where distractions are removed, and in that space, they do their best work. That is why they achieve more in less time. It is not about working longer hours. It is about protecting their attention. Now think about your own life. How many times have you planned to do something important but ended up doing something easy instead? How many times have you opened your phone for one reason and then spent 30 minutes doing something completely different? This is not a lack of discipline. This is a lack of control over your environment. Because if distractions are always around you, you will eventually give in to them. Willpower alone is not enough. You must design your environment in a way that makes focus easier and distraction harder. Start with something simple but powerful. When it is time to work, remove the things that can interrupt you. Put your phone away. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary apps. Create a space where your mind has only one option, and that is to focus on the task in front of you. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mind will look for something else to do. It will want stimulation, it will want distraction. But if you stay with the discomfort, something interesting will happen. Your mind will slowly settle. Your focus will return. And you will start to experience a deeper level of concentration that you may not have felt in a long time. Another important thing to understand is that not all distractions come from outside. Some come from within. Your thoughts, your worries, your habits can also interrupt your focus. You may sit down to work, but your mind starts thinking about something else. You remember something you need to check. You feel the urge to switch tasks. This is normal, but you must learn to control it. When these thoughts appear, don't follow them immediately. Acknowledge them, but stay with your task. train your mind to return to what matters. This is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. You must also be honest with yourself. Some distractions are not accidents, they are choices. Sometimes you choose distraction because the work feels difficult. Sometimes you avoid important tasks because they require effort, patience, and focus. But every time you choose distraction over effort, you are choosing comfort over growth. And if you continue to make that choice, your life will stay the same. Now imagine a different way of living. Imagine waking up and working with full focus, without constantly checking your phone, without jumping from one task to another, without losing your attention every few minutes. Imagine completing important work faster, feeling more satisfied at the end of the day, and knowing that you used your time well. That life is possible, but it requires one decision. You must decide that your attention is valuable, and you will not give it away easily. Because your attention is your life. What you focus on grows. If you focus on distractions, your life will be full of noise. If you focus on meaningful work, your life will move forward. The difference is not in your ability. The difference is in where you place your attention every day. So from this moment, start protecting your focus. Treat it like something important because it is. Don't let small distractions steal big opportunities. Don't let easy habits control your future. Take control of your environment, take control of your attention, and you will take control of your life. Because in the end, it is not the hours you have that define your success, it is how you use them. And if you can learn to eliminate distractions and focus deeply, you will not only save time, you will multiply it in ways you never imagined. 6. Take action. Immediately. There is one habit that separates people who only dream from people who actually change their lives. And that habit is simple to understand, but very difficult to practice. It is the ability to take action immediately. Most people spend their time thinking, planning, waiting, and preparing, but very few actually move. They wait for the right moment, the right mood, the right energy, or the perfect conditions. They tell themselves they will start when they feel ready, when they have more time, or when everything is clear, but the truth is, that moment never arrives. Life does not suddenly become perfect, and you do not suddenly become fully prepared. What you are waiting for is not real, and while you are waiting, time continues to move forward without you. The biggest mistake people make is believing that action requires motivation. They think they need to feel inspired before they begin, but motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel strong and ready, but many days you do not. If your actions depend on your feelings, your progress will always be inconsistent. This is why so many people start something with excitement and then stop when that excitement disappears. They are not lacking ability, they are lacking the habit of action. Successful people understand something very important. They do not wait to feel motivated, they act first and then motivation follows. When you begin working, even in a small way, your brain starts to engage. Your energy increases, your focus improves, and suddenly the task that felt heavy becomes manageable. When action creates momentum, and momentum creates motivation. Now think about how many times you delayed something important. You knew what needed to be done, but instead of starting, you waited. Maybe it was studying, working on a goal, learning a skill, or improving your life in some way. You told yourself you would do it later, but later turned into another delay, and that delay turned into inaction. This is how opportunities disappear, not because they were taken away, but because they were never acted upon. Every time you delay action, you weaken your discipline. You train your mind to avoid effort, and slowly this becomes your normal behavior. You become someone who thinks a lot but does very little, and over time this creates frustration, regret, and a feeling that you are not moving forward. The truth is that action is not about doing everything at once. It is about starting. Most tasks feel difficult because you are looking at them as a whole. You see the entire work, and it feels overwhelming. Your mind tries to protect you from that discomfort by suggesting delay. But if you break it down and focus only on the first step, everything changes. The first step is always simple. It might be opening a book, writing one sentence, starting a task, or taking the smallest possible action. But that small action is powerful because it breaks the barrier of inaction. Once you start, your resistance decreases, your mind shifts from avoidance to engagement, and you begin to move forward. There is another important truth that you must understand. Thinking about doing something is not the same as doing it. Planning is not progress. Now, waiting is not preparation. You can spend hours thinking about your goals, imagining your future, and making plans, but none of it will matter if you do not take action. Results come from execution, not intention. Many people confuse being busy with being productive. They spend time organizing, researching, and preparing, but they never actually begin. This creates an illusion of progress, but in reality, nothing is changing. Now imagine a different approach. Imagine that every time you think of something important, you act on it immediately. You do not give your mind time to create excuses. You do not wait for the perfect moment. You simply begin. At first, it will feel uncomfortable. Your mind will resist. It will try to delay, to distract you, to find easier alternatives. But if you push through that initial resistance, you will discover something powerful. Action becomes easier with practice. The more you act, the less you hesitate. The less you hesitate, the more confident you become. And confidence comes from doing, not from thinking. Another thing to understand is that speed matters. Not speed in the sense of rushing everything, but speed in starting. The faster you begin, the less time your mind has to create doubt. Doubt grows in delay. When you wait, your mind starts asking questions, creating fears, and imagining problems that may never exist. But when you act quickly, you bypass that doubt. You move before your fear becomes strong enough to stop you. This is why immediate action is so powerful. It protects you from your own hesitation. You must also accept that not every action will be perfect. You will make mistakes. You will face challenges. You will have moments where things do not go as planned. But that is part of the process. Progress is not built on perfection. It is built on consistent action. Every step you take, even if it is not perfect, moves you forward. Every mistake teaches you something. Every attempt makes you better. But if you do nothing, you learn nothing, and you remain exactly where you are. Look at people who achieve great things, and you will notice a pattern. They are not waiting. They are moving. They are taking action again and again, even when it is difficult, even when it is uncomfortable, even when they do not feel ready. They understand that time does not wait, and they choose to move with it instead of against it. This is what creates success, not talent, not luck, but consistent, immediate action. Now think about your own life. How many opportunities are waiting for you right now? How many ideas have you delayed? How many things do you know you should start but have not started yet? The answer to all of that is simple. Stop waiting and begin. Not tomorrow, not later, not when you feel ready. Begin now. Take one step, no matter how small it is. Because that one step has the power to change everything. Your future is not created by what you plan to do someday. It is created by what you do today. Every action you take builds your path. Every delay pushes you further away from where you want to be. The choice is always yours. You can continue to wait, or you can start moving. And the moment you decide to act immediately, you take control of your life. Because in the end, success is not about having the best ideas or the perfect plan. It is about taking action when others hesitate. It is about moving when others wait. And if you can develop this habit, if you can train yourself to act immediately, you will not only save time, you will transform your entire life. 7. Be consistent. Every day. There is something that most people misunderstand about success, and this misunderstanding is the reason why so many people start strong but fail to reach their goals. They believe that success comes from big actions, from sudden motivation, from moments of intense effort where everything changes at once. They wait for that one powerful day where they feel inspired, where they work harder than ever before, and where they finally transform their life. But that is not how real change happens. Real change is not built in one day. It is built in small, repeated actions that are done every single day, even when you do not feel like doing them. Consistency is not exciting. It is not dramatic. It does not feel powerful in the moment. In fact, it often feels boring. It feels slow. It feels like nothing is happening. You do the same work again and again, and you do not see immediate results. This is where most people stop. They start something new, they feel motivated for a few days, maybe even a few weeks. But when the excitement disappears and the results are not visible yet, they lose interest. They begin to doubt themselves. They think it is not working, and they quit. This cycle repeats again and again, and over time they become frustrated. Not because they are not capable, but because they never stay consistent long enough to see the results of their effort. The truth is that success is not about intensity. It is about persistence. Doing something once does not change your life. Doing something every day does. Small actions may seem insignificant, but when they are repeated over time, they create powerful results. Imagine improving yourself just a little bit every day. 1% better each day may not seem like much, but over time, it creates a huge difference. The problem is that most people focus on immediate results. They want to see progress quickly. They want proof that their effort is working. But real progress is often invisible at the beginning. It happens quietly beneath the surface until one day it becomes visible, and it looks like a sudden success, even though it was built slowly over time. Consistency requires patience, and patience is something that many people struggle with. We live in a world where everything is fast. We get instant results, instant responses, instant entertainment. This creates a mindset where we expect everything to happen quickly. But personal growth does not work like that. Learning a skill, building discipline, improving your life, all of these things take time. They require repeated effort. They require showing up every day, even when you do not feel motivated, even when you are tired, even when you would rather do something easier. There will be days when you feel strong and focused. On those days, working is easy, but there will also be days when you feel weak, distracted, or unmotivated. These are the days that truly matter, because anyone can work when they feel good. Anyone can take action when they are motivated. But real discipline is shown when you continue even when you do not feel like it. When you choose to stay consistent despite your emotions, you build strength. You train your mind to follow your decisions, not your feelings. Now think about your own habits. How many times have you started something and then stopped after a short time? Maybe you began learning something new, maybe you started improving your routine, maybe you decided to change your life in some way. At the beginning, everything felt possible. You had energy, you had excitement, you had hope. But then something changed. The motivation faded, the work felt repetitive, and slowly you stopped. Not because you failed, but because you were not consistent. Consistency is what turns effort into results. Without it, even the best plans fail. With it, even small efforts succeed. This is why you must stop depending on motivation and start building habits. Habits remove the need for constant decision-making. When something becomes a habit, you do it automatically. You do not think about whether you feel like doing it. You simply do it. This is what makes consistency easier over time. At first, it requires effort and discipline, but as you repeat the action again and again, it becomes part of your routine, and eventually it becomes part of who you are. Another important thing to understand is that consistency does not mean perfection. You do not have to be perfect every day. There will be days when you do less, days when you make mistakes, days when things do not go as planned. That is normal. What matters is that you do not stop. Missing one day is not failure. Giving up completely is. Yeah, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to keep going. Now imagine what would happen if you stayed consistent for 1 year. Not perfect, but consistent. Imagine working on your goals every day, even in a small way. Imagine improving your skills, building your discipline, and moving forward step by step. At the end of that year, your life would look completely different. Not because of one big moment, but because of hundreds of small actions that added up over time. Consistency also builds confidence. When you show up every day and do what you said you would do, you start trusting yourself. You prove to yourself that you are capable of following through. And this self-trust is powerful. It changes how you see yourself. You no longer feel stuck or uncertain. You feel in control. You feel strong. Because you know that you can rely on your own actions. There is something else that consistency gives you, something that is often overlooked. It gives you momentum. When you keep moving forward, even slowly, you build a sense of progress, and that progress creates energy. It makes it easier to continue. But when you stop, when you break your rhythm, it becomes harder to start again. That is why staying consistent, even with small actions, is better than stopping completely. At the end of the day, your life is not shaped by what you do occasionally. It is shaped by what you do repeatedly. Your habits create your future. Your daily actions define your direction. If you want to change your life, you do not need a dramatic transformation. You need consistent effort. You need to show up every day and do the work, even when it feels small, even when it feels slow. Because one day, those small actions will no longer be small. They will become results. They will become progress. They will become the life you once wanted. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop searching for quick results. Focus on consistency. Focus on showing up. Focus on doing the work, one day at a time. Because in the end, it is not what you do once that changes your life. It is what you do every day. And if you can master consistency, you can master your life. Now remember this. Your life is not made of years, it is made of days. And your days are made of how you use your time. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need the perfect moment. You just need to start and stay consistent. Because every small action you take today is building your future. So from this moment, make a decision. No more wasting time. No more waiting. Start using your time wisely, and your life will change. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this message. I'll see you in the next video.